الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأزواجه وذريته أجمعين. We are continuing reading Allama Iqbal's Reconstruction of Religious Thought in Islam, and today we are starting from here. It is the mysterious touch. And last time we had done, last two sessions we spent some time on the previous sentences. So what we last time did was thus the affirmation of spirit sought by Christianity would come not by the renunciation of external forces, which are already permeated by the illumination of spirit, but by a proper adjustment of man's relation to these forces in view of the light received from the world within. So in last two sessions we have been trying to be charitable to Allama Iqbal here, and we were doing charitable reading, but starting from, and even though we had an occasion to object to some of his formulations, we were able to generally agree with him. But starting from here, our charitable reading breaks down, and it becomes clear that what Iqbal has been Iqbal has been saying things about Christianity and things about Islam. He praised Christianity for at least realizing the primacy of spiritual, but he also criticized Christianity for ignoring the external world, or creating a division between external world and the spiritual world. And he praised Islam because he thought Islam was an advance on one-sided spirituality of Christianity, because Islam not only agrees with Christianity on the importance of spirituality, but also goes farther than it, farther than it, by combining an emphasis on spirituality with an equal emphasis on the importance of the external world. And not only that, but it also emphasizes the organic link between the external and the internal, the spiritual and the material world. But starting from this sentence, it becomes clear that Allama Iqbal has been reading both Islam and Christianity through a Hegelian lens. And Islam is superior to Christianity because it basically ticks the Hegelian criteria, the criteria of the primacy of the absolute idea, but also the criteria of the organic link between the idea and the real. And you will see that he starts using those words explicitly here. So the real and the ideal. And when he was talking about spirit, what he was meaning by that was the Hegelian idea of the spirit. So that will so we'll see that our charitable reading will break down, because what Iqbal is talking about is not in Islamic or not even on Christian ground, but it's talking in terms of the Hegelian ideals. And for him, Islam is a superior religion because, as I said, it ticks all the Hegelian criteria. So it's important to realize that. So let's slowly unpack this. Okay, so let's read a few lines first. It is the mysterious touch of the ideal that animates and sustains the real, and through it alone we can discover. It is the mysterious touch of the ideal and animal. Sorry, it is the mysterious touch of the ideal that animates and sustains the real, and through it, that is through the real alone, that we can discover and affirm the ideal. So there's sort of a pragmatic spirit as well, which also has Hegelian roots. With Islam, the ideal and the real are not two opposing forces which cannot be reconciled. So reconciliation is also a big Hegelian theme. Reconciliation of the real and the ideal. Okay. The life of the ideal consists not in a total breach with the real, which would tend to shatter the organic wholeness of life into painful opposition, but in the perpetual endeavor of the ideal. So ideal is realizing itself. That's Hegel. To appropriate the real with a view of eventually absorbing the real. To convert it into itself. So to convert the real into the ideal and illuminate its whole being, or you could say realize its whole being. It is a sharp opposition between the subject and the object, the mathematical without and the biological within. So spirituality is gone. Spirituality is now apparently been reduced to biological. That impressed Christianity. However, Islam, Hegelian Islam at least, faces the opposition with a view to overcome it. This essential difference in looking at fundamental relation determines the respective attitude of these great religions. So they are both great religions toward the problem of human life in the present. Both demand the affirmation of the spiritual self in man, with this difference that only the Islam, or only the Hegelian Islam, recognizing the contact of the ideal with the real, says yes to the world of matter, because matter is the expression of the ideal anyway, and points the way to master it. So here he goes to humanism and the scientific idea of mastering the material world with a view to discover the basis for realistic regulation of life. Okay, I think we can stop here now and start thinking about these claims and trying to understand Iqbal. give him all the benefits of doubt and try to understand him uh, critically but fairly. Okay.